Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the latest paper, October-November 2019, that we are doing. And you have done passage 1, honey, and I gave you passage 2, hortense. Hortense is actually a name of a deer, and you must have read this passage, and you must have attempted the explicit meaning questions, implicit meaning questions, opinion and facts in the previous passage. And another question that has been added to the this paper of reading, that is paper 2, is cause and effect. That has recently been added. I mean, there has been only, I think, 2 or 3 attempts previously which include such sort of questions. The rest of the questions we have practiced many times, the explicit meaning, the implicit meaning, but I today want to focus on that question which is the last question in the passage. Now if we come to the question paper, here is the question paper, and we come to the last question. Here it is. Question number 10. This is the question paper. I will also provide you the marking scheme. You can just check your answers from the marking scheme. You have been doing it previously too, explicit meaning, implicit meaning. Now this is another very important question, and beside discussing this question, the cause and effect, question number 10, I will also be discussing the assessment objectives of reading paper and writing paper that have been set for the syllabus 2021, because you will be appearing in English in 2021, so your assessment objectives will be for 2021. So I will be discussing that with this marking scheme today. So listen very carefully and try to make notes if you can make notes. Reread paragraph 2 and 7, which contains sentences. So whenever you are asked to reread a paragraph, do reread a paragraph which contains sentences telling us about the personality of the writer and B, the personality of the writer's brother. You will be given that sentence which tells us about the personality of the writer and the personality of the reader. What you need to do is to give the meaning of each sentence as it is used in the passage, and number 2, the effect of each sentence as it is used in the passage. The sentence is: I knew without a shadow of doubt that I wanted to be a collector of animals, line number 10 and 11. The sentence is given: I knew without a shadow of doubt that I wanted to be a collector of animal, line number 10 and 11. And if we see the marking scheme of this, we will see the answer in that. Question number 10, here it is. First sentence is: I knew without a shadow of doubt that I wanted to be a collector of animals. The meaning is, he was so sure, definite or certain or convinced, he had made his mind up, had no second thought that he wanted to collect animals. He was sure, he was definite that he wanted to become a zoologist. So this was the meaning of this sentence, which is very simple. Now what is the effect? Effect of this sentence is that he is determined, single-minded, decisive, unwavering, confident sort of person. Once he makes his mind up, it stays that way. This is the effect of this sentence. So you have to be very careful when you are answering such type of questions, the meaning and its effect. And the second sentence was about the brother of the writer, which is this sentence. This is the last straw. You must have learned the you must have read the passage. This is the last straw, roared Larry, so get that animal out of here. This is the sentence, and you have to tell the meaning as well as the effect. The meaning is that the brother is tired, fed up, upset, sick of the writer's animal's hobby. It was too much for Larry. He had enough of Hortense. He want Hortense to be sent away, removed, or gone. This is the meaning of that sentence. This you will tell. This is simple. And what is the effect is that Larry or his brother is a bad-tempered or intolerant, impatient sort of person. Allowed answer is that it shows his anger, that he was very angry. Single response word responses, either nouns or adjectives, simple: anger, angry, intolerance, or intolerant. Another allowed is we the readers don't like Harry, like Larry. Larry is an unsympathetic character. So this you will do according to the marking scheme. Give the meaning and give its effect. And apart from this, I want to discuss with you these assessment objectives. Assessment objective number 1 is reading, because paper 1 is reading. Assessment objective number 2 is writing, because the paper is writing. R stands for reading, R1, R2, R3, R4, 5. These are the assessment objectives, and your paper will be assessed on these. The examiner will be marking your paper on the basis of this. R1 is demonstrate reading of explicit meaning. Explicit meaning are those for which the answers are quite simple and you can find the answers from the text, from the passage. The answers are given there. You just have to locate the answers. Demonstrate understanding of implicit meanings. Implicit meanings where you can't find the straight away the answers from the passage. You have to use your thinking skills. You have to use your understanding. You have to use your own understanding, your own judgment to answer those questions. The answers of those questions are not straight away given in the question paper, in the passage. So this is R2. 3. Analyze, evaluate and develop facts, ideas and opinions. As you can see, you are given in passage number 1, you are given questions where you need to write down the facts, where you need to write down the opinions, and reading for ideas. The whole passage is reading for ideas. So this is R3. Again, you will be judged on the basis of that. R4 is demonstrate understanding of how writer achieves effects. Now this is the new question that is added to it for the last 2-3 attempts, and you should be very careful about R4, because if you do not attempt this appropriately, then you are going to miss one of the assessment objective, which is R4. Demonstrate understanding of how writer achieves effects, means the meaning and effect. The last question, question number 10, they are talking about. Then for writing as well, W1 is articulate, experience and express what is thought, felt and imagined. Like when you are writing a narrative, or when you are writing directed writing questions, or descriptive writing, or argumentative, this W1 is used. Express what is thought, felt and imagined. Sequence facts, ideas and opinions. Again, they are talking about directed writing as well as creative writing, where you have to sequence your facts, ideas and opinions. Use range of appropriate vocabulary is W3. Use register appropriate to audience and context. This is knowing your audience, using the appropriate register. You must know to whom you are writing. Whether you are writing to a friend, your tone should be different. Your tone should be informal. When you are writing to the principal or your colleagues or your boss, your tone should be different. It should be formal. So this one. Number 5, make accurate use of spelling, punctuation and grammar. Why I have discussed the writing paper marking objectives with the reading paper is, the reason is this one. This is the reason. Relationship between assessment objective and components. Although paper 1 is writing, but it also includes 5% assessment objective for reading. What is assessment objective 1? Reading. What is assessment objective 2? Writing. So even in writing paper, 5% of the assessment objective of reading is also used, because you need to understand in the first place what you are required to write. So reading is also important. If you have not understood the narrative, if you have not understood the directed writing, the directions given there, it means you are lacking in your reading skills. So 5% of the assessment objective even in the writing paper is this one, right? And similarly, for reading paper, the 5% assessment objective is for writing. डेफिनेटली वन यू आर रीडिंग पेपर में आप जब रीड कर रहे हैं पैसेजेस, then obviously your spellings, your grammar, your punctuations, they also need to be taken into account. So, and there's a summary as well. So reading paper also includes 5% weightage of the assessment objective 2, which is writing. So make sure that you fulfill all these assessment objectives when you are attempting the papers. Whenever you attempt a paper, I've provided you the marking scheme. If you have already done this passage, see what mistakes you have done, and that's it for now.